Hey everyone, welcome to Zebulon. My name is Ryan, and today we're going to show you how to use our small carbon fiber patch repair kit to repair a splitter. So let's go take a look. This splitter came to us with much more damage than you would normally be able to repair with this kit. However, we're going to use it for illustrative purposes. If your splitter or carbon fiber part has more damage than the small patch repair kit can handle, we will have a larger patch repair kit available, and you can always send the parts in to us for us to put them back on the vacuum table or do a full repair like this one is going to get. The small patch repair kit includes gloves, a couple of packets of resin, and just mixing sticks, a little brush, some carbon fiber, which I've already trimmed to the size we need, and some release and little cups. So let's get into it. I'll show you how to repair this splitter. We're just going to patch a section along the leading edge here. So to start off, you'll typically want to prep the surface. If it's one of our splitters, the surface on the bottom is already a peel-ply surface, which is kind of pre-prepped to have more carbon fiber bond to it. Otherwise, you'll want to scuff the surface that you're going to be bonding with some sandpaper, 120 grit, 80 grit, that's all going to work just fine. We're just going to mix up one packet right now. This repair is small, even for the small patch repair kit. So you'll cut these open and dump the entire contents into the mixing cup. These packets are from West Systems, and this is their fast hardener. You'll want to make sure that you squeeze all of this into the cup so that you get the right mix ratio. But they have pre-measured all of this stuff out. All right. You want to mix this up so that it is completely uniform. It'll take a little bit. You might feel it starting to get a little warm. That's okay. If it gets hot, then you need to set it outside, away from anything, so that it doesn't light off or cause any fires or anything. Typically, we won't use a fast hardener for anything but quick repairs at the track, so that's what these kits are really designed for. So once you're done mixing, it's going to look like a little bit golden. It'll have bubbles, that's fine. We're not worried about the bubbles right now. You'll want to paint a little bit of the resin onto the area that you are patching. So we're going to patch this little section right here. Just a little bit there. From there, you'll want to wet out your carbon. So I have the release film here and I have the carbon down on it. Pour about half of what's left onto the carbon and paint it into the carbon. Just work it through. You can also use your fingers. Just kind of rub the resin into the carbon, get it to wet the carbon out. Be careful on the edges where the carbon has been cut because you'll get some fraying. It's not really a problem, but if you want it to look nice and clean, you'll just want to be careful with that. So once you've kind of wetted this out, peel it up off of this and we can place it on the part. So you want to put some decent pressure here. Lay it out over the part. Let's take the remaining resin that we have from the packet and we're going to dump that on here. Use the brush to bring it out to the edges. Just kind of work the resin through it. Use your fingers, use the brush, whatever you need to do so that it gets fully wetted out all the way to the edge of the piece of carbon that you are using for the patch. Right. Go wetter than you think it needs to. It should be very wet because we're going to squeeze some of the resin out at the end here. Let's just use up everything. I've cleaned up my space a little bit. We are approaching the last step here. I cut a piece of the release film so that we can use this to squeeze the air out of the patch and get it to be nice and flat. If you have some tape, it's good to use this to keep the release down. And since I'm around the leading edge here, I'm going to use it to actually go underneath the leading edge and keep this release from moving. It's also going to stop some drips coming around the underside for me here. This stuff is just a little bit stretchy, but not crazy stretchy, but you can get a little bit of actual force on the part if you stretch this out right. But so now you can see along the leading edge here, we've started to lay it down. You can start working the carbon down and working the air out towards the edges. So you see all the bubbles here, and then this is no more bubble. So you just keep working that air out. You'll get a little bit of resin that squeezes out towards the edge. That's fine. You just kind of want to work from one side to the other. Even if you're not taped down with the release, this will still work. It's going to be a lot easier to do it on a flat surface with that not being taped down. However, this is still definitely doable without tape. Okay, so that's what that looks like once you've squeezed all the air out of it. It's pretty flat. It's relatively smooth. On the edges, it's going to be a little bumped up, but that's fine. It's just because we're adding material. And then for me, I'm just going to tape this down on the edges so that it doesn't go anywhere and keep some tension on the release. You don't have to rush while you're doing this. The pot life of this resin is 10 minutes. That means once you mix it, it can sit in the cup for 10 minutes before it starts to solidify. Once you have actually worked it into the carbon and it becomes a thin film, it starts to set up even slower. So you have some time to work this out. If you make a mistake, just cut another piece of the release out of your kit and do it again. No big deal. So after about 2 or 3 hours, you can pull the release off. Should peel right off. And then if there's any high spots, sand them down. But otherwise, this is going to be good to go. You've repaired your splitter or whatever other carbon fiber part you might be using this for. I let this cure overnight. Really, it should only take 2 or 3 hours, but if you have the time, definitely let it cure overnight just because it will be harder. I wanted to show you guys taking off the release film and what that looks like. So we're just going to remove the tape here. You can see this just peels right off, nice and smooth. I had the tape on the bottom side. And now we have a repair that's hard, smooth. I have a couple of little bubbles here along the edges, but that can all be sanded down if you so choose. But this is, at least on this spot of the splitter, ready to go. So let us know if you have any questions. Looking forward to hearing from you.